Good morning, students. We were discussing about various forms of energy. Yesterday we discussed about heat, chemical energy, and chemical energy. Now the third form is electrical energy. Electric energy. You see, the flow of electric current through the circuit leads to glow of bulb, rotation of fans, the bulbs to glow and fans to rotate and bells to ring. We know the use of electric current. For pressing the clothes we use electric iron. For heating the water we use electric geysers. So electric current and electricity is part and parcel of our life. So what is electric energy? The electric energy is the energy carried by the electric current. The energy associated with electric current is called electric energy. We are learning about electric energy in detail in class 12th. See, we are learning basically the electric charges. There will be force of repulsion between similar charges, force of attraction between dissimilar charges. As I said earlier, unlike charges attract each other, like charges repel each other. What is the law governing these forces? We are going to learn in 12th class, that is Coulomb's law, and we are learning in detail. So basically electric energy is a very important form of energy which is associated with electric current. An average urban Indian household consumes 200 joule of electric energy per second. 200 joule of electric energy per second means 200 watt. An average household uses 200 watt of power, 200 joules per second of electric energy. Next one is, before we learn the nuclear energy, the very important energy, we should learn the very important thing, that is equivalence of mass and energy. So learn nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is the energy associated or released during the nuclear reactions. To learn about nuclear reactions, first we should learn the mass energy equivalence, the equivalent of mass and energy. Equivalence. Until the end of 19th century, all the scientists believed that mass is conserved in an isolated system. In all the physical and chemical processes that take place in the nature, the mass is conserved in an isolated system. For example, the glacial ice has a huge mass. When the glacial ice melts, it flows into gush of stream of water. It flows into huge stream of water, but the matter remains the same. So conservation of mass means mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be transformed from one phase into another phase. Matter cannot be destroyed, matter cannot be created. Matter can't be created, matter cannot be destroyed. Neither matter be created nor be destroyed. It can be converted from one form into another form, one phase into another phase. This was the belief. But Albert Einstein showed that there is a mass and energy equivalence. Albert Einstein discards this conservation of mass. So now there is no more law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass doesn't valid at all after the equation that is found out by Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein found out mass energy equivalence. He showed that whenever there is a mass which disappears in certain nuclear reactions, that disappeared mass is appearing in the form of energy. The disappeared mass is converted into energy. So he showed mass energy equivalence by this famous equation: E is equal to mc square, where L is the mass, c is the speed of light, and E is the energy. C is speed of light. That is speed of the radiation, we can say, speed of the electromagnetic radiation. C is equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. So, to understand this equivalence of mass and energy, we have to learn the nuclear reactions, nuclear energy. The nuclear energy that is released during nuclear reactions. There are mainly two types of nuclear reactions: nuclear fusion reaction and nuclear fission reaction. In these nuclear fusion and nuclear fission reaction, the energy is released, tremendous amount of energy is released. If you find out the reason why this energy is released, then you will understand the manifestation of this equation. So this equation is very important. Nowadays, there are deadly weapons, nuclear weapons, which can destroy everything. So the energy of these nuclear weapons is basically the manifestation of this E equal to mc square, equation of E equal to mc square. At the same time, the life nourishing energy that we get from the sun is also nuclear energy. In the stars like sun, nuclear fusion reaction take place. So as a result of nuclear fusion, tremendous amount of energy is released. That energy we are receiving as a solar energy. We are all living on this beautiful planet Earth because of this energy received from the sun. So the energy that is released from sun and stars is basically nuclear fusion energy. So there are two types of nuclear reactions. Nuclear reactions. One is nuclear fusion. Another one is nuclear fission. So we are learning again in detail in class 12 about this. What is nuclear fusion? What takes place on the stars like sun? 4 hydrogen nuclei. 4 hydrogen nuclei fuse together, combine together, fuse together or combine together at high temperature. To form one helium nucleus. He means helium nucleus. See, the reactions are taking at the nuclear level. I am saying 4 hydrogen nuclei. Hydrogen nucleus means what? Proton. 4 protons, when they combine at high temperature, that is called fusion. When they fuse together, 4 light nuclei like 4 protons combine together, they form a helium nucleus. During this formation of helium nucleus, tremendous amount of energy is released. How is this energy released? That is what we are learning as fusion energy. 4H plus combined together to form 1 He plus, He2 plus, He2 plus. Helium nucleus consists of 4 protons and 2 neutrons. So He4, we have to write 1 He4, 2 neutrons and 4 nucleons, means 2 plus 2. 2 neutrons and 2 protons forms a helium nucleus. So 1H means H11. This is proton. H11. It consists of 1 proton. Its atomic number is 1, mass is 1. So 4H11 combined together to form 1 helium nucleus with the release of tremendous energy. Tremendous energy. How is this energy released? If you look at this, analyze this, then you will come to know the importance of this equation. What is that? The missing mass. What is that missing mass? See, here the mass of 4 hydrogen nuclei is greater than the mass of the helium that is produced as a result of nuclear fusion reaction. So mass of helium is less than mass of 4 nuclei, 4 protons. So mass of heavy helium nucleus is less than mass of 4 H plus nuclei. So this difference in mass, if you take the difference in mass, there will be some mass disappears. There is some mass disappearing. That decrease in mass, difference in mass which disappears is called as mass defect. Where that mass has gone, that mass is converted into energy. So if you take the difference in mass, the difference in mass appears as energy. So if you take the difference in mass, the difference in mass is denoted by delta M. This difference in mass, which is mass of 4 nuclei minus mass of 1 helium nucleus, mass of 4 protons minus mass of 1 helium nucleus. There is some amount of mass disappearing. So this is called mass defect. This is called mass defect. Where is it missing? That was explained by Einstein's mass energy equivalence, equation of Einstein's mass energy equivalence. So this difference in mass appears in the form of energy, which is given by E by c square, or energy that appears is equal to delta M into c square. So if you multiply this delta M with c square, then you will find so much amount of energy that is released. In this reaction, actually there is a 24.7 million electron volt. The energy that is released here is 24.7 million electron volt. 24.7 million electron volt of energy is released. That is called as nuclear fusion reaction, which is very, very essential for all the life to exist on the surface of Earth. And it is the perennial source of energy for our Earth and also for the entire solar system. So the same reactions also take place on all the stars. Then second important reaction is nuclear fusion. Nuclear fission. What is nuclear fission? Here, a heavy nucleus like uranium-235 breaks into lighter nuclei. For example, uranium-235. Let me write the example. Uranium-235 is a heavy nucleus. Uranium-235, 92, it is an isolate. It is an isotope. It is an isotope of uranium, where it is targeted with one neutron. This is neutron. One neutron. When a neutron collides with uranium-235, then it breaks into two fragments, two nuclei. One is barium, another one is krypton. Barium 144, krypton 89. With the release of three neutrons. The release of three neutrons, and along with this, tremendous amount of energy is released. Energy. This energy is called as fission energy. So this energy is called fission energy. So if you balance this, here you get barium 56, krypton 36. Barium 56, krypton 36. What are these all things you are going to learn in detail in chemistry as well as in physics. So barium 56 is the atomic number, 144 is the mass number. It is the number of protons, and 144 is the number of protons and neutrons together. So if you add 144 plus 89, it comes out to be 233. 233 plus 3 neutrons, it becomes 236. So look at this, 235 plus 1, 236. That's how the number are matching. But actually when you calculate the total mass of these product elements, product nuclei, and mass of these reactants, these are called reactants, these are called as products. If you take the difference, there is always some mass disappearing. Mass of the reactants, mass of the heavy nucleus and neutron together will be greater than the mass of barium, krypton and 3 neutrons. So where is that difference in mass missing? That difference in mass is missing. That missing mass is again called as mass defect. That mass defect is converted into energy. So here I can write the mass of these are light nuclei. Mass of lighter nuclei is less than mass of heavy nucleus plus mass of neutron. Mass of heavy nucleus plus neutron. So if you calculate that mass, there is some missing of mass. That difference in mass delta M appears in the form of energy. This is getting translated into energy. This energy is called as fission energy. I think you got the difference between fission and fusion. Fusion is combining lighter nuclei like hydrogen nuclei, combining together to form heavy nucleus like helium nucleus. Tremendous amount of energy is released. That is called fusion energy, which takes place on the stars like sun. Whereas fission energy is the energy obtained after the fission, after the breaking up of heavy nucleus like uranium-235, where it is collided with one neutron, it breaks into lighter nuclei like barium, krypton and 3 neutrons. Barium, krypton are lighter than uranium-235. So the mass of barium, krypton and 3 neutrons together, mass of these lighter nuclei is less than mass of the heavy nucleus uranium-235 and 1 neutron. So this difference in mass, where it has gone? So according to law of conservation of energy, that mass must be converted into energy. So that energy, fission energy, is calculated as E is equal to delta M into C square. Delta M into C square. So this energy that is released, it is released at a speed of light. Energy, basically electromagnetic radiation, heat energy, tremendous amount of heat energy is released. That is in the form of radiation, heat radiation. So that travels at the speed of light. So delta M into C square gives us the amount of energy that is released. So this is how we study fission energy and fusion energy. These are forms of nuclear energy. So again, nuclear fission energy is made use in devastating deadly nuclear weapons, right? And also this fission energy can be used in a controlled manner. When this fission energy is used in a controlled manner in nuclear reactors, that energy can be harnessed to generate electric current. So Kaiga Atomic Power Station in our Karnataka is harnessing this nuclear fission energy to convert it into electric power, electric current. So that takes place in a controlled chain reaction. So when the fission is carried out in a controlled chain reaction, that can be used for peaceful purposes for generation of electric current, which is very useful. But if the same energy is uncontrolled, then it will lead to huge blast, that is huge nuclear bomb blast. That is what we have read about it. So that's how controlled and uncontrolled chain reactions are both being employed according to the requirement. So these reactions are manifestation of nuclear, equivalence of mass and energy. Manifestation of equivalence of mass and energy. That is stated by Albert Einstein, E equal to mc square. Okay, I think you got it very clearly. We are going to learn in detail again in chemistry as well as in physics. In physics we are learning in 12th class. Okay. Let us see some simple conversion problems. Conversion of energy units. Express the energy required to break one bond in DNA, 10 to the power minus 20 joule in electron volts. The energy required to break one bond in DNA is 10 to the power minus 20 joule. Express it in electron volts. So answer for A. We know that energy required to break one bond in the DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, is equal to 10 to the power of minus 20 joules. This has to be expressed in electron volts. We know that 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules equal to 1 electron volt. 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules is equal to 1 electron volt. Therefore, 10 to the power of minus 20 joules is equal to how many electron volts? So we can calculate 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules equal to 1 electron volt. Therefore, for 10 raised to minus 20 joules, how many electron volts? So if you carry out this, it comes out to be 1 upon 16 electron volts. Joule cancels, you will be left with 1 upon 16 electron volts. So this comes out to be 0.06 electron volt. This is the first problem. Similarly, B, the kinetic energy, the average kinetic energy of air molecule is estimated is equal to 10 to the power of minus 21 joule. So these are the practice for conversion of joule into different units of energy. That is in this case electron volt. So average kinetic energy of air molecule is 10 to the power of minus 21 joule. So again we can use the same conversion. 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 corresponds to 1 electron volt. Therefore, for 10 to the power of minus 20 joules. So joule cancels. You can see again you get 1 divided by 160. 1 divided by 160. So if you work it out, it comes out around 1 divided by 160. 0.0062 electron volt. 0.0062 electron volt, which can be further written as 6.2 milli electron volt. 6.2 milli electron volt. 6.2 milli electron volt. The third one, quickly let us solve the third one. See, the average daily food intake of a human adult is 10 raised to 7 joule. It is customary to speak the food intake and food consumed in terms of food calories. Let us calculate in terms of calorie, right? The average daily food consumption of human beings healthy human adult is 10 raised to 7 joules. Joules has to be converted into calories. We know that there is one conversion. 4.2 joule is equal to 1 calorie. 4.2 joule is equal to 1 calorie. You are asked to calculate in terms of kilocalorie. Convert it into kilocalorie. Convert it into kilocalories. So it comes out to be 4,200 joule is equal to 1,000 calories. 1,000 calories is equal to 1 kilocalorie. So 4,200 joules is equal to 1 kilocalorie. Therefore, for 10 raised to 7 joules. So 4,200 joules correspond to 1 kilocalorie. Therefore, for 10 raised to 7 joules. If you calculate joule cancels, you are again left with answer in kilocalorie. So if you simplify this, it comes out to be 2,400 kilocalorie. Remember this. Healthy human being requires 2,400 kilocalorie of food consumption per day. But in the newspapers and magazines, it will be always given 2,400 calories of food must be taken. Food should not be greater than 2,400 calories. That is a misconception. It should be in terms of 2,400 kilocalorie. So if we take only 2,400 calorie of food per day, we definitely starve to death. Definitely we are going to starve to death. Therefore, one food calorie, remember, one food calorie is equal to 1 kilocalorie. So please remember, one food calorie is equal to 1 kilocalorie. So you have to understand that if it is media stating that 2,400 calorie of food to be taken, consumed per day, you must understand it is not 2,400 calorie, it is 2,400 kilocalorie, because one food calorie corresponds to 1 kilocalorie. So in the next session we will learn very important things, that is principle of conservation of energy and power, and we will learn the collisions. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.